Western.
Morning, guys. Today, Maya Angelou, as we close off with her, reminds us to always keep rising. This is the greatest power of human beings. This is where Maya Angelou is very passionate, and it comes out in her poetry. Look her up. She today shares with us an example in her poetry that she wrote and her wonderful words that she's spoken for humanity, that life always rises. She That theme is everywhere, and you have to remember that. No matter what, there are things going on that are greater than us, but we are that same thing that's in everything. So we are life, and no matter what, life energy keeps rising, and you are just like that. So no matter how hard your day may be today, just remember to keep rising a little bit, keep learning, keep growing. Try to apply that today and see how you feel at the end of it. Have a great morning, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, pain is such an integral part of life that try as hard as we may, we just cannot escape.
If you're in your comfort zone all day long, you hate your life. Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Gaur Gopal Das.
Have any of you tried doing exercise, like a gym workout or jogging, and have realized that physical activity is painful? Have any of you, as school or college students, worked hard to get good grades and have realized that studying hard is painful? Ladies and gentlemen, pain is such an integral part of life that try as hard as we may, we just cannot escape. But we have a choice to accept the right kind of pain that initially hurts, but eventually heals, that initially is uncomfortable, but eventually unleashes our true potential, that initially we want to avoid, but eventually very happily accept. Or the wrong kind of pain, where the beginning is so much pleasure, but at the end, life is just a pity. Where in the beginning, you're so mesmerized, but at the end, just a royal mess. Where in the beginning, things are so comfortable, but at the end, endlessly complex. The pain of exercise or the pain of disease. Which one will you choose.
You don't want an easy life. You don't want to sit on the beach and just be served drinks all day long. That might sound appealing right now if you hate your life, but it's not what you actually want. You want to do difficult things. Your self-confidence, self-respect, self-esteem comes from doing difficult things. You want to be on a hero. You want to be on a journey. You want to make an impact. All of the heroes that you look up to right now, look at where they came from, look at the journey they went on. They suffered a lot of pain to get there. You want to follow a similar road. So don't hate the pain. Recognize it for what it is, your chance to show yourself and the world what you're made of. So I recently came back from doing my tour, 23 cities, 90 days, and I broke my neck along the way. And thank you everybody for the warm wishes, and having you guys in my back pocket sending me all the love every day was super helpful, and I appreciate you. And so many people saw me doing what I was doing with this giant neck brace on, with this huge, cut and scar across my forehead. Is it this side? Yeah, this side. There's still a little bit of a scar right there. They saw that and they said, man, you're so inspiring. I see you in the hospital still doing a live stream, and I am telling myself some BS excuse as to why I can't get up and go to work. And that's amazing, and that's uplifting. But the real reason why I did it, why I kept going, wasn't to try to be an inspiration to everybody watching. It was to be an inspiration to myself. It was to show myself what I could do, is that I'm in pain every day. At the beginning, I had this crazy concussion, but then once that subsided, I still had pain. I'm still in pain. This is months later, and I'm still in pain. I'm still recovering. I'm still going through rehab. Just that hurts like so much. It's crazy. I'm still in pain, but I want to make myself proud. I want to be an inspiration to myself, because when you do difficult things and you get through it, that's how you build self-love. Not by taking it easy and only doing the things that are within your comfort zone. If you're in your comfort zone all day long, you hate your life. It means that you're setting tiny goals for yourself that you know you're going to accomplish, and you're basically just photocopying your life. Every day is the same, is the same, is the same, and it's all inside your comfort zone. That's not what humans are built to do. You want to grow. You're a hero. You want to go on a journey. You want to do amazing things. You want to help others. And as you help others, as you grow, as you get through the pain, what you're able to do is help somebody up. You're on this staircase. I see that's a staircase, okay? Stay with me. You're climbing this staircase, and you don't want the staircase to end. You want there to be more challenges. You want there to be more pain ahead. You do. Because as you climb that staircase, guess what you're going to do? You're going to look down behind you and pull the people up. The people who are also on that same journey with you. You're going to make it easy for them. You're going to offer them a helping hand. You're going to show them that it's possible. You're going to give them hope, belief, support. That's going to be you. But unless you start climbing the staircase, you're never going to help the people. You're never going to help anybody else. You can only help somebody to the extent that you have gone through it yourself. If you haven't gone through anything yourself, you've never tried anything difficult, you're not going to help anybody. There's going to be this tiny little group of people who you will ever be able to help, because you're not exposing yourself, because you're not trying, because you're not taking on difficult things. And so you don't want to hate the pain. I can't tell you how many times on my trip with my broken neck, I said, this is the best. I'm so pumped. This is crazy. This is the best. I've never felt so much physical pain in my life. I've had a lot of emotional pain, but I've never felt physical pain. I've never broken anything in my life. Never broken a bone in my body. Well, my pinky toe. It doesn't really count. I've never broken anything. I've never been in a cast. So the first thing that I break is my neck in 2 spots. It's crazy. And I was pumped, because yes, this is my chance to see what I'm actually made of. And coming out of this, growing through it, surviving my way through it, I'm going to emerge a different human. I'm going to come out stronger. I'm going to be better. And as I do that, I'm going to be able to help pull other people up as well. You create a purpose from your pain. Because ultimately, everybody wants to serve. But you can't serve if you're not going through difficult things. You can't serve if you haven't been through something. Now, you may be thinking that I'm a crazy person, and I think that's awesome. I think you should have some of this crazy. I think you need some of this crazy in your life. I think you need to become a little bit crazy. Otherwise, what? Otherwise, you're just complaining. Some pain is happening to you. What's your option? Either say, this is the best, and I'm going to learn and grow from it and become amazing and help others, or you sit there and say, this sucks, and you're stuck in a land of complaining. That's where most people are. That's most of the world. And so I love being crazy and different and optimistic. And I wanna sprinkle some of that dust on you so you can join me on this crazy ride too. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process to follow that I think will help. Step number 1 is, what's a big pain in your life? Think about a big pain that you have going on right now. What are you complaining about? What are you struggling with? What's this big pain that seems impossible, overwhelming? You're never gonna get over it, or it's all encompassing. What is that pain for you right now? The good thing about entrepreneurship is there's always some kind of pain happening in our business. So what's the number 1 pain for you right now? Number 2 is, think, how is this the best? The best. How can you be insanely grateful for this pain? How are you gonna grow through this? How is this your chance to show yourself what you're made of? We very rarely get chances and opportunities to show yourself because you won't put yourself in harm's way. You won't push yourself to the edge. You won't. You just won't, because as humans, our survival instinct kicks in. You won't push yourself to the very edge. And so you're here. You've been forced here. Something happened. Something in your industry. Something with your parents. Something happened that you're here at the edge. This is the best. Because as you push through that edge, now there's a new edge. You've just grown. That discomfort allowed you as a human to get better. And so this big pain that you're suffering with right now, why is it the best? And step number 3 is, remind yourself of who are you going to help once you defeat it. Once you get over this big fear, once you get through this big pain, this giant obstacle that is all encompassing. If you don't get through it, if you don't summon the courage and get through it, then you'll be stuck in the land of resourcelessness and complaining and anger and resentment and regret, like most of the world. But if you get through it, you muscle through, you do the difficult thing that other people are not willing to do. Other people in your circumstance, whatever you're facing right now, lots of people would say, hey, don't worry about it, don't do it, back off, you've already given so much, stop, quit, just relax, take it easy, chill. Right? That's what most people would tell you, because they have low standards for themselves. When you break through that, think about all the people you're going to help. Think about the people you're going to lift up. Think about it. Imagine it. You're going to break through this thing, and then you can help tens or hundreds of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people break through the same thing yourself. Quick side note on that. I'll go weird duck on you for a little bit here. When I'm in a conversation and we're saying goodbye, somebody says, hey, take it easy. Don't tell me that. It doesn't mean that I'm hustling my face off all the time, but I want to live an intentional life. I don't want an easy life. And you don't either. So I catch people. And the next time they say, take it easy, and they say something else, something that they're proud of saying. So you got to watch your language. Watch how you talk to others. Watch how you talk to yourself. It makes a big difference.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? The science says that when you just watch a video, you get motivated, you get inspired, you have a 35% chance of following through on your goals. 35%, that's not enough. That's not enough just to get motivated. Believe Nation, we're here, you're here. Today matters, you're an action taker. When you commit to a plan of action of when and how you're gonna follow through, when you write it down, you have a 91% chance of following through. And when you commit publicly to somebody else, it jumps to 95% chance. From 30-something% to 95% chance of you following through. Believe Nation, we need to make this happen. So question of the day, your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action specific for the next week. Put it down in the comments below, and I'm gonna show on screen sometime next week to celebrate you. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've designed a special free training to help you do it. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a new habit. And I want that for you. I want you to build the habit of self-belief. So what I'm going to do is email you every day for 254 days a link to an unlisted video that will shift your belief forward. To get on it for free, the link to join is in the description below.
It's easy to make a buck, very hard to make a difference. And whenever you're updating to a higher version of yourself, you have to be able to give the best of yourself to it. No one on planet Earth can stop you from accomplishing and achieving what you want. I have been a non-conformist. You cannot do anything substantial if you're a conformist. The greatest killer of your personal, spiritual, professional growth is conformism.
Can you make that simpler for the listeners?
Yeah. The greatest killer of our growth is to give in to what society thinks you should be doing. There are social standards of what you should be doing. Socially, it's cool to have a job or a business and start it this way and have a home in a certain place, have a certain car, wear a certain kind of clothes, have a certain kind of hairstyle. And we give in to it because we want to be socially accepted. Look, I'm not saying we shouldn't fulfill our parents' dreams. They're the most amazing people. They gave birth to us. They grew us up. They did so much for us. And we have that I hate to use the word duty, but I will still use it. Duty out of our genuine love and gratitude to serve them, and their emotional support, their love will always be there for us. But trust me, even if you assume that we have to spend like about 8 hours at work daily, it's a very conservative number actually, to spend way more than that. But even if you have to spend like 8 hours at work daily and you're working 5 days a week, that's 40 hours at work a week. And assuming you take 2 weeks of holiday every year, that's 50 weeks working, that makes 2,000 hours of yours at work. Assuming you work for about 45 years, that's 90,000 hours of your life at work. Now that's a daunting number, right? The average is about 10 years of your life. I'm really not sure if I just conform and give in to what's socially acceptable or what my family wants. 90,000 hours of dissatisfaction, 90,000 hours of cribbing and complaining that I hate it, I don't like it, this is not what I wanted to do, or what to do, this is what trends, this is what pays, this is what my parents wanted. Conformism. Conformism will take away two things from me. A, my satisfaction. 90,000 hours. Just because it's paying me more, should I be miserable for those 90,000 hours? And the second thing is you can never achieve excellence. Excellence only comes when you do something that truly resonates with your soul, you know? So for me, I said, no, man. HP, yes, I'm okay. I'm good at doing it. I was good, very decently good at my work, but it's not fulfilling me, you know? And I don't suggest people take a risk like me. Definitely don't. I usually tell people that you have a mainstream something through which you earn and then follow your passion side by side so that there's no risks involved, calculated risks. And then when this takes over and grows, then chuck this out and make this as your main thing. Well, my system didn't allow me to do that, take that calculated risk. I just took the plunge and jumped in and said, no, I'm not going to do this if it doesn't really kind of resonate with my soul. Do you know something? In the game of life, you're playing a cricket match against an entity called the mind. No one on planet Earth can stop you from accomplishing and achieving what you want if you can bat against the googlies that the mind bowls at you. How many of you have experienced that the mind bowls googlies? Good. When it comes to exercising and jogging, how many of you know that the mind bowls googlies? Majja. Soja. How many of you have trouble in studying? Raise your hands as students. My God. And you come here, you hear all of these things. Don't get distracted by WhatsApp. Don't get distracted by internet pornography. Don't get distracted by Twitter. Don't get distracted by Facebook. Study. Don't get distracted by birds to do bird watching. Study. All these distractions. इधर आके कुछ उपदेश देते हैं कुछ लोग साधु लोग आपको. उस पे बाद भी फेल होता है. So one father was telling his son, देख तेरे क्लास में वो लूसी है ना लूसी, देख फर्स्ट आई है वो और तू नालायक फेल हो गया. वो बोला देख के ही फेल हो गया मैं उसको. देख के ही तो फेल हुआ मैं उसको. I'll tell you something. My God. Why? Because the mind doesn't want you to win the game of life. How many of you wanted to wake up early in the morning? Raise your hands. Only wanted, I asked. Wanted to wake up early in the morning. And how many of you have done something called as setting an alarm clock? And then after setting the alarm clock, that's an alarm. Whether you want it or not, it rings. And when it rings, the mind puts its first googly. what does the mind do? By putting the googly, makes you clean bold when you do the first snooze. You are out. You are out. If you snooze, you are out. I want to say one thing, just one. And probably this will change the direction of your life. You know something, when you snooze the alarm, what happens? You decide to give in to the mind's ball. And this is how your morning begins, by giving in to the mind. सवेरे की शुरुआत होती है इस बॉलर से क्लीन बोल्ड होके, आगे क्या मैच जीतेंगे? ये तो दिन की शुरुआत है, by giving in. And it's no problem giving in. Sleeping 5 minutes extra is no problem. The problem is you develop the attitude of giving in. You tell yourself that what I decided last night is not as important. What is important is what the mind says. Because we listen. I'll tell you something, my humble advice. Because it's not just about getting up in the morning, it's about every aspect of life. Whether it's your work, if you're working, whether it's your study, if you're studying, whatever we do. The problem is, it's not about one thing. सवेरे हो गया ना, it reflects in every area of life. इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ, अगर 4 बजे नहीं उठना, मालूम है ना अपने से नहीं होता, 4:20 का अलार्म लगाओ, लेकिन 4:20 को उठो. Don't allow that snooze. There is a concept called sledging in cricket, where the opponent team comes and gives gali to the batsman. Gali, they try to distract them and take their focus away. One thing that Sachin is adored for in the history of cricket is sledging hasn't bothered him. This man is cool. Are you cool? When people do sledging against you in the game of life, are you cool? Or you lose your cool? There will always be people who are out of control. Can you stop a guy from criticizing you? Can you stop an opponent team from sledging? कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Are situations in your control many times? No. The guy who was batting was expecting an in-swing ball. And that's what the bowler bowled. And one gush of wind, an in-swing becomes an outswing. And is caught out. Lot of things, situations, people are just out of our control. How many of you think question paper is in your control? And when things go wild, I'll tell you what happens with us. This is what happens with us. You know? This is what happens with us, see? See how it foams up? We react. The stimulus of a person sledging against us, criticizing, pulling us down, envious of us, conspiring, politicking, makes us react and foam out. We start reacting also. Question is, do you want to be a 7-Up can or a Oxy-Cool bottle of water? And I'm sure a lot of us would say, Prabhuji, हमको तो दूसरा कुछ सोचता ही नहीं है प्रभुजी. And thus, in our life, we will always have a stimulus, and we can choose to respond, because between the stimulus and response is our choice. A great personality is not born in the maternity ward. A great personality is born by the choices that one makes. And therefore, when there are all kinds of stimuli, we have to learn how to respond. If we are not strong spiritually, it is impossible. If we are not strong culturally, it is impossible. All this sounds great and good, and we know, yes, I want to do it. I can't be a can of soda. I want to be a water bottle. But is it so easy? No. That is why coming here is so important. That is why these foundational ethics of spirituality are so crucial in this age. As all of you are going to be successful in your own areas of life, if not cricket per se. And thus, We have to learn how to respond. What is the most selfish one?
Llama 911, que estamos en el firehouse. Play and skills. Stop. Shit. The cat is on fire. We all a little high, but we gon' get a little higher. Go. Let's go.
Apréndete los pasos, sigue el tutorial.
Let me see you do it. Let me see you.
Pop it, drop it, lock it. Pop it, drop it, lock it. Pop it, drop it, lock it. Pop it, drop it, lock it.
Shake it, shake, 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 shake it. Ay, fuego la pista. I'm talking stop, drop and roll. A little low, a little low, fuego, go. Okay. I want all my ladies to make their way to the dance floor right now. Todas las mujeres que se reporten en la pista. You know what's happening here? Candela, but I want to see how it works. Quiero ver cómo mueve todo eso now. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now, your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe. Your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time. Good morning, determination. How is everyone doing today? Another great day. Wherever we are, today for myself, I'm indoors. Maybe you yourself are indoors as well too. Wherever you are, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period we've ever had. It may not be exactly where we want to be. We may not be in school or at work where we really want to be, but wherever we are right now, let's do this to the best of our ability. Here we go, determination, here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot for 1 minute. Ready, and go. And as always, we're thinking about our breathing, focused on our breathing. Feeling that power of us always being able to control our breath. Even when our heart starts beating faster, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through something stressful, something maybe we might be afraid of or we don't like, we get to control our breathing. The same way we get to control our thoughts. And our thoughts affect our feelings. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our feelings. Almost there, everyone, almost there. Keep going. Keep going, determination, keep going. And stop. All right. You can walk on the spot, or you can walk side to side as you recover your breathing. Always feeling that power of you controlling your breathing. This is the best. What we have right now, wherever you are, you've got your mind and your body in the gym of life. And you get to be your best right now on whatever stretches, exercises we're about to do together. Here we go. Here we go, determination. That's why I love gym. Gym is the best. Roll your mind in the gym of life. Here we go. Let's do 10 shoulder rolls forward. Ready, everyone? Here we go. The best 10 shoulder rolls forward ever. Still controlling our breathing. Shoulders all the way up and around as high as we can towards our ears. And backwards. Again, feel the power of you controlling your body right now. In these simple movements, simple motions, you get to control your body. The way you control your mind, same way. Alright, and let's do arm circles forward, everyone. Arm circles forward, 10 big ones forward. Feeling the joy of our arms moving through space. Alright, and backwards. Excellent. Alright, everyone, let's put our hands on our hips, bend the knees, and side stretch. There we go. 5 on each side. Alright, and let's twist our bodies. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor. 5 on each side. Really thinking about what we're doing. Really trying to feel every part of our body as it's moving in space. Alright, good. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go. 5 push-ups. Best 5 push-ups. Again, if you gotta keep your knees on the ground, that's okay. Just do your best, always. And 5 sit-ups. Excellent. And standing up. 5 squats. Here we go. Body straight ahead, looking straight ahead. All the way down. All the way up. Alright. Let's do 3 lunges on each side. Here we go. Arms out. Still controlling our breathing. Alright, and let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Again, feeling the joy of you pushing your body a little bit outside its comfort zone. Because you know that's where the growth is. Alright, everyone, and standing up. Reach for the ceiling on your toes. Or the sky if you're outdoors. Today I happen to be indoors. If you are outdoors, reach for that sky. If you're indoors, reaching for that ceiling. We may not touch it yet, or ever, but we're going to reach, we're going to strive. Just like we do in life, no matter what. Okay, now reach for your toes. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, but keep your knees straight. Reaching for your toes. Feeling the pull in the back of your leg. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Alright, come on up. And let's balance. Grab one leg, find that balance, bend the other knee. Well done, everyone. Keep going. Keep thinking about what you're doing right now. And switch. Again, feel the pull on the front of the thigh. Bend the other leg. Find that balance. If you lose it, just try to work hard to get it back and then hold it there. Excellent. Alright, now let's hug our knee. Here we go, all the way up. And try to steady that other foot on the ground. Bend the knee if you have to and pull all the way up. Hold it for 10. Always working hard to find that balance. Where we balance our thoughts, our mind, balance our bodies, wherever we are in space. Alright, and switch. Just always think of safety too. Make sure you have enough space, clearance around you, in case you do lose your balance. Hold it there. Well done. Okay, good. And let's sit down, everybody. And reaching for our toes, straight knees again. Reaching is what matters. If you don't get to your toes, that's okay as long as you're reaching. Feeling the pull on the back of your legs. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Okay, V shape with your legs. Now reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, now reach for one side and hold it there again. Always thinking about the moment, thinking about what we're doing right now. Experiencing the joy of being able to reach for something to help our bodies get better. And switch the other side. See, you can do this almost anytime, any place. You can work on your mind and your body wherever you go in life, in everything you do, not just in exercise and stretches. All right, here we go. And let's do feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10 seconds. If you feel your breathing going on autopilot or becoming automatic again, take control of it. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. One leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there. 10 seconds. And switch to the other side. Knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Always remembering that you are the boss of your mind, and your mind is the boss of your body. That makes you the big boss. You get to control yourself. You get to use your determination no matter what. All right. And let's roll onto our bellies and push the floor. Looking up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feeling that nice stretch in our lower back, neck, back of our arms. All right, and legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Taking deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, activating that third eye, that mind's eye that we all have. We can't see it, but we know it's there. So use your mind's eye right now to see yourself doing the best you can today when that music goes on whatever 2 exercises, stretches you've chosen to do. For me, today I'm going to be holding the push-up position for one song, the first song, and then I'm going to be holding the squat position for the second song, as long as I can. And if I happen to let go or not be able to hold it, I'm going to continue on until that song's over. What about you? You can put on your own 2 songs today, and you can do your own exercises. But think about which exercises you're going to do right now, safely within the space you have. You can do what I'm doing. You can listen to what I'm listening to, or you can choose your own. But whatever you do, determine right now, see in your mind what you will do when that music goes on. All right, determination, here I go, holding the push-up position. And let's go, whatever you're doing, whatever you've decided, let's see it. Let's see your best. Here we go together. Let's go, determination, let's go. Looking forward to being better than we were last time, a little bit more than last time. See if I can hold it for the whole song, let's see. Wasn't able to do it last time we did this together. Or the last time I did it on my own, but I'm going to work at it right now. Because I love the process of trying to get better at something. Whether it's building strength in my body, building strength in my mind, working on creating nothing but positive images, thoughts, visions in my mind, working on being the best human being I can be. What about you? What is it for you? Whatever it is, just enjoy the process of learning, growing together, whatever we're doing. And sometimes we're going to feel that discomfort. Like right now, I can already feel my muscles already uncomfortable. But then I can feel my determination saying, I get to determine whether I'm going to stop or keep going, no matter what. You too, let's go, determination, let's go. Alright. Didn't get through the whole song, but I'm gonna get right back at it again. Song's not over, gotta keep going. There we go, shaking it up. Not being mad that we didn't get to where we want to be yet, but feeling happy that we get to go at it again. Here we go. Always thinking about our breathing. Always thinking about finishing strong, no matter what. Always going right to the end, finishing what we set out to do, no matter what. All right. Got more in me. I know I got a little bit more. We gotta keep going. You too, whatever you're doing, keep going. Determination, keep going. Let's go. It's not over yet. The song's still playing. Focus on that breathing. Good air in. Bad air out. There we go. Another round. Oh, I love it. I love the process of building our true great self through exercising our bodies and our minds together. Oh, that's the next song. All right. Time for some squats. Holding the squat position. What about you? What are you going to do next? Let's go. Determination. Here we go. Ready? All right. If you're doing what I'm doing, just try to keep your feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead, going as far down as you can, your bottom towards the ground, and holding it there as long as you can until that music's done. Because our music, you know the truth, our music's never done. Our energy, our determination is built to last, to get through anything. Let's go, determination, let's go. If you're sweating, that's good. Feel your body releasing some of that fluid, some of that old fluid, and water. Make sure you drink lots of water when we're done. Make sure you always fill your body with good food. All right. And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. Where it all begins and never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. And we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings. But it takes a lot of hard work. It takes, first of all, believing that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, your mind health, your chance at mind wealth is not possible. But that's not the way it was meant to be. You were born to win. Control over your mind, your thoughts. To have and be all you were meant to be. And that means believing 100% in who you really are. And that is the key to your mind health and your mind wealth, your happiness, your freedom, your success, your infinite peace and love towards everything and anything. It's possible. It's all because of you, your determination, united with all of our determination, creates that oneness, that consciousness, determination. And that's why I love you, determination, wherever you are. I miss you, I miss being in your presence, but here today, we united. We enjoyed this process fully. And the way we do or did this is the same way we can do anything, including being the best for all those around us, wherever we are right now. So keep going, determination. Keep working on controlling your mind. Because that's for all your health, mind health, your happiness, your freedom, all your love that can never be taken away. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Until the next time.
Welcome to Best Life 30, your 30-day journey to creating the best life possible for yourself. You can just watch this video or can sign up for free and get the bonus companion.
Hi. Do you sometimes feel like you're on a treadmill going nowhere and wishing for more out of life?
Worksheets that go along with each video by checking the link down in the description below. All right, today is day 27 and we're going to learn how to hire properly.
You need a team around you to deliver a lot of idea. How do you choose your team? Based on what?
Well, I suppose honestly that it tends to be gut feel more than anything else. So when I interview somebody, my interview question is always the same. It's
what do you ask?
I said, tell me the story of your life. And the decisions that you made along the way and why you made them. And then, and also tell me about some of the most difficult problems you worked on and how you solved them. And that question I think is very important because the people that really solve the problem, they know exactly how they solved it. They know the little details. And the people that pretended to solve the problem, they can maybe go one level and then they get stuck. I've made several hiring decisions in the past where I valued intellect over heart, and I think that was a mistake. And so I've tried to adjust accordingly. It actually matters whether somebody's a good person beyond just goodness itself.
How have you hired your team, and what do you look for when you bring people on?
If you think about it, I started the company when I was 19, right? So I can't institutionally believe that experience is that important, right? Or else I would have a hard time reconciling, myself, right? And the company. So, we invest in people who we think are just really talented, even if they haven't done that thing before. And, that applies to people who are fresh out of university, as well as, people like, the CFO who took the company public, had not taken a company public before, right? And a lot of his background was in, production, development at Genentech before. So, just focus on really talented people.
I don't hire people who I wouldn't work for myself. I think that's a really good heuristic, because everyone knows this, there's this saying A players hire A players and B players hire C players, which is good people hire good, and I don't think that that's that informative, right? Because what are you going to say? To someone in your organization,
hire
you're
better
a B
people.
player, you don't get to hire people. No. And I think a lot of the time the problem is you don't actually know. And sometimes you're trying to figure out how good someone is. If you didn't think they were good, you wouldn't have hired them. But the heuristic of only hiring people who you would work for tends to be pretty good, I think. Because then it's then that right? It's I would not work for this person, then okay, I'm not going to stretch just because I need to fill a role today.
The greatest people are self-managing. They don't need to be managed. Once they know what to do, they'll go figure out how to do it. And they don't need to be managed at all. What they need is a common vision. And that's what leadership is. What leadership is having a vision, being able to articulate that so the people around you can understand it, and getting a consensus on a common vision. We wanted people that were insanely great at what they did. But we're not necessarily those seasoned professionals, but who had at the tips of their fingers and in their passion the latest understanding of where technology was and what we could do with that technology, and who wanted to bring that to lots of people. So the neatest thing that happens is when you get a core group of 10 great people, it becomes self-policing as to who they let into that group. So I consider the most important job of someone like myself is recruiting.
We agonized over hiring. We had interviews. You could go back and look at some of the interviews agendas. They would start at 9 or 10 in the morning and go through dinner. A new interviewee would talk to everybody in the building at least once and maybe a couple times, and then come back for another round of interviews, and then we'd all get together and talk about it.
And then they could fill out an application.
No, they never filled out.
The most critical part of the interview, at least to my mind, was when we finally decided we liked them enough to show them the Macintosh prototype, and then we sat them down in front of it, and if they just kind of were bored or said, this is a nice computer, we didn't want it. We wanted their eyes to light up and them to get really excited, and then we knew they were one of us.
And everybody just wanted to work, not because it was work that had to be done, but it was because something that we really believed in, that was just going to really make a difference. And that's what kept the whole thing going.
We all wanted exactly the same thing, and instead of spending our time arguing about what the computer should be, we all knew what the computer should be, and we just went and did it.
We went through that stage in Apple where we went out and we thought, oh, we're going to be a big company, let's hire professional management. We went out and hired a bunch of professional management. It didn't work at all. Most of them were bozos. They knew how to manage, but they didn't know how to do anything. And so if you're a great person, why do you want to work for somebody you can't learn anything from? And you know what's interesting? You know who the best managers are? They're the great individual contributors who never, ever want to be a manager, but decide they have to be a manager because no one else is going to be able to do as good a job as them.
What I found out, the accountants and attorneys who went to the biggest schools are not the best. I have found what I'm looking for is somebody who may be a private guy who is passionate about entrepreneurship. So they're a great attorney for entrepreneurs. They're not, most attorneys are looking for the big client, like I want to work for, General Electric. What I want is the attorney and the accountant who are passionate about it being entrepreneurs. So my guys right here in Phoenix are entrepreneurs. and my accountants are entrepreneurs. Every time I hired the big name corporate and law accounting firms, I have been grossly overpaid and underserved because they're so used to doing bigger things, they don't have time for a little guy like me. It's the same with bankers. I'm looking for a banker who loves being an entrepreneur. You know, you got to have this partnership with the banker. You know, I dump on the financial services industry a lot, and they deserve to be dumped on, but you got to have one on your team, you know? So my banker is the love of my life, because that's where I get my money from.
To me, love is very important. I look for someone who loves the company, who loves a vision that you're casting, I'm casting, loves a crusade, that their heart starts connecting with it. Because if you can hire, my experience has been, if you can hire people based on love, you don't need to have work ethic on a list, because love is an action, in my opinion. If love is an action and the definition of love to you is also an action, it's a verb, then that means everything from love, work ethic comes because of love. So if someone loves, they're gonna have a work ethic. If parents make food for their kids 3 meals a day, not because they have to, but because they love and they put the time to cook. If, you know, parents put the time to drop off the kids in the morning and pick them up and work so hard and do this and do that, love. It doesn't, there's no manual that says you gotta work hard when you're a parent. No, the manual is you love, they have a place in your heart, so you work. So I hire based on love. So, and another thing with love is this as well to keep in mind. You can't force somebody to love you, your vision, your company. You can't do it. And if you constantly are trying to force somebody to love you, it's kind of like the guy who's in love with this girl and he loves her so much, but she doesn't love him. She likes him. And, you know, she tolerates him. And all his life, he's trying to earn her love, and she's just not going to love him. She doesn't love him. She just likes him. You know, they're just together because it's good. They don't. This guy has all his life, and that can be very draining. I don't hire for forcing somebody to love. If you love it, we're going to work together. If you don't, no problem. You're going to find a place that you're going to love, and we're going to find people that we're going to hire that we're going to love as well, and that's okay.
As a interview question, because we obviously can't tell people what we're doing, so we want something that has artificial intelligence, maybe has some comms problems with it. It has to really have these meaty, hard, like get dirty in the world kind of stuff, because all the things that we do have those characteristics. I have often asked people a question about, let's say that we have robotic moles, and we're sending them out in the world. They're supposed to go find gold and bring it back to us. And then just engage them in a conversation about, like, how would we do gold detection? How far do you think one of those moles could dig before it had to come back and get power? Do you think it'd be realistic to, like, put a tether on it so that it wouldn't run out of power? You know, should we have conveyor belts, like, out its butt so that it could, like, send the gold back and just keep digging? You know, what would happen if that mole, like, went, like, under, you know, the ground into Canada or Mexico? Like, if one of the moles goes rogue, you know, what are we gonna do? And you very quickly get into this state where you find out who's going to go with you on these journeys. Yeah. Because some people just kind of short circuit, and minute 2 of the questions, they're just like, I know. And then the interview often is over. They don't know it yet for another 28 minutes. But some people are super excited, and they're like, wait, I actually think we could do that. And, you know, it's probably, we shouldn't be making moles going digging for gold. We aren't, don't get excited.
But if you find one, please return it.
Yes. But the people...
Don't take the gold out of its butt.
No, exactly. Oh, they don't like that. But the people who will engage in that conversation, that's a good sign.
Everybody wants to know who to hire and what do I look for. And obviously, I look for someone that's humble, and I look for someone that's balanced. And really, you know, it's one of those things where as much as you can before you hire someone, get to know them. And the advice we give people at Echelon Front all the time when they're looking to hire someone is we say, look, if you can, hire them temporarily, bring them on as a contractor for 90 days. You have to see them in the environment that they're actually going into, they're gonna be working in before you know what they're really gonna be like. Because just like going through, they screen people like crazy to go into SEAL training, and they can't tell who's gonna make it and who's not gonna make it. They just can't tell. And you work with people in the SEAL teams, and you think you know what they're going to be like when you go into combat, but you just can't tell. You can have a decent idea, but you just can't tell. And so if you get the opportunity, or the best way to do it is try and bring people on board in a temporary manner so you get to know them better. And then once you know them, you can either hire them or you can get rid of them easily.
When someone comes to look for a job with us, they'll say, well, I gotta make money. So great, what's the pay, salary, job, whatever, that stuff. That's the bar. Then the next bar is, who am I gonna be working with? And if you're working with A players, then you pass to the next test. And the final test is this a mission that I care about? Do I really want to wake up every morning and really put my all in? And if you can have all three of those, if you can be paid properly or paid competitively, it's not necessarily paid more, just competitively. If you can be surrounded by A players and you have a mission that you care about, you will have people lining up to work for you, and then that flows to where the customers, you'll have customers lining up to buy a product or use your brand.
The people you hire define the culture, whether you like it or not. So Larry and Sergey, when they started the company, said, we need to have really smart people. So they hired a rocket scientist, and they hired a medical doctor, and they hired a Stanford graduate who had been a professional football player, because they figured that they wanted normal people who'd done something exceptional. So in my case, I was a pilot and I had done other things, and they said, okay, you're good enough. You know, the CEO has to have something besides being a CEO that makes them interesting. And everyone had something. And I would go around and I'd say, well, what's special about you? It's like Sesame Street, you know, what's special about you and what's special about you? But there was always an interesting story. So another lesson I learned is that you don't hire generic people, you hire people who've had some kind of stress or achievement or whatever. The best people to hire, by the way, are CFOs who've gone bankrupt. Because boy, have they been through the war. And on the CFO side and the finance side, you want somebody who's not going to happen again. And you only go bankrupt once, by the way.
I think the second thing is you have to hire big. And big, I don't mean famous. I mean ahead of where you are. So when you're growing an organization really quickly, what happens is that what normally takes an organization years happens in a period of just months. So when I was at Google, you know, my team went from 4 to 4,000 in about 5 years. That means that if you look at those first 4 people I hired, in order for them to be part of the people who are running that organization, they need to do about, 10 or 15 years worth of growing and, getting experience in a much shorter period of time. So if you think you're going to grow quickly, hire for what you think you're going to need. Overhire. Hire people who are more qualified, have more experience, or hire people who are right out of school but can overachieve in their current roles. I don't think it's a number of years in the workforce that matters. I think it's hiring the people that you're going to need now, because then happens so quickly.
We look for compliance.